So students, last time we have seen buffer, it's the types of buffer and the applications of it. Hope till now you have understood all the concept related to this lesson, ionic equilibrium. Today we are going to turn to a new topic, that is solubility equilibrium. Now this solubility means a substance when it is dissolved in water, that time some equilibrium is being established, and such type of equilibrium when it is dissolved in water, that type of equilibrium is known as solubility equilibrium. This solubility equilibria deals only with sparingly soluble compounds. So what does sparingly soluble compound means? For example, AgCl, silver chloride. When you add silver chloride in water, then the whole silver chloride does not dissolve in water. Some part gets dissolved, that is only a small amount is dissolved, and some part of AgCl remains undissolved. So when a substance is slightly soluble in water, such type of substances or compounds are known as sparingly soluble compounds. So solubility equilibrium deals only with such type of compounds such type of compounds in which some parts gets dissolved in water and some remains undissolved. Now when AgCl was added to water, this AgCl, it dissociates into Ag plus and Cl minus ions. So some part remains undissolved like in AgCl form, and some dissolves in Ag plus and Cl minus. So there is an equilibrium. You can see a double-headed arrow, that is equilibrium between AgCl, which is undissolved, and its ion. So AgCl which is undissolved, and there is an equilibrium between AgCl undissolved and its ion, that is Ag plus and Cl minus. Such equilibrium between a sparingly soluble salt and its ion is known as solubility equilibrium. So we have taken a salt AgCl. In bracket you can see S means solid. So AgCl in solid has an equilibrium between Ag plus ion, which were, when do we get ion? When we dissolve in water, that is aqueous, and Cl minus ion in aqueous. So this equilibrium constant K for this AgCl sparingly soluble compound is given by concentration of Ag plus ion, square bracket means concentration of Ag plus ion into concentration of Cl minus ion divided by concentration of AgCl. As AgCl concentration, when you dissolve, after some time this undissolved AgCl remains constant. The concentration of it remains constant into this. That is, after some time no more AgCl dissolves in water. So this concentration of AgCl remains constant, which is denoted by K dash. So you can write K, when you substitute this concentration of AgCl by K dash, the equation becomes K equals to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus upon K dash. So if you just rearrange and take this K dash on the other side, K into K dash is equal to concentration of Ag plus into concentration of Cl minus. This quantity or this entity K into K dash is known as solubility product. Okay. K into K dash is known as solubility product. So what does solubility product means? It means it is the product of concentration of ions in saturated solution. Your saturated solution is very important part. Remember this. What is solubility product? It is the product. You can see it is a product, that is multiplication. Product of concentration, square bracket denotes concentration. So it is a product of concentration of ions in a saturated solution, which is known as solubility product K into K dash. This K into K dash is denoted by KSP. SP is solubility product. So KSP is equilibrium of solubility product, which is given by product of Ag plus into Cl minus. This is related to the example AgCl. If in general, if you have any sparingly soluble salt salt means, we have seen it is slightly soluble salt in water when it dissolves in water. So if it is a sparingly soluble salt, Bx, X is the number of ions, like for example if it is AgNO3, so 3 is the X and Y. So BxAy, when it is dissolved in water, it is sparingly soluble. So there is a equilibrium between its ions, like B plus plus y minus. So x into b raised to y plus y into a raised to x minus. So the solubility product is given by Ksp equals to, as we have seen here, it was Ag plus into Cl minus. So here which are the ions? B raised to y plus and a raised to x minus. So solubility product is given by concentration of B in b raised to y plus raised to x, and concentration of A raised to x minus raised to y. Now this x, y, these are the exponents. These are, here it is the valency and these are the exponents. Exponents we are going to, you'll understand it more with the next example. So solubility product, the definition is, it is the product of equilibrium concentrations of the constituent ions raised to the power equal to their respective coefficients in the balanced equilibrium expression at a given temperature in the saturated solution of sparingly soluble salt. So this is the definition. I'll explain you. You will find this definition a little bit difficult, but if you see the equation, you will easily understand it. So what is, for example, if you take a BaSO4 as a salt, so when it dissociates, it gives Ba raised to 2 plus, because its valency is plus 2, and SO4 raised to 2 minus, because its valency is 2 minus. So if you see, when BaSO4 sparingly soluble salt, when it dissolves, some part remains as it is. So there is an equilibrium between the compound and its ion. So Ba raised to 2 plus SO4 raised to 2 minus. So the solubility product Ksp is given by, so what is it? It is a product of equilibrium. See, here is a equilibrium. It is a product. So product of equilibrium between, see here it is multiplication. Okay. Product of equilibrium of constituents ion. So see, these are the constituent ion, Ba2 plus and SO4 2 minus are the constituent ions raised to the power equal to their respective coefficient. So what is the power here? Ba raised to 2 plus and SO4 raised to 2 minus. These are the powers, respective coefficient in the balanced equilibrium expression at a given temperature in saturated solution. For example, if it would have been 2Ba2 plus. So here Ba raised to 2 plus raised to 2, because the coefficient here, respective coefficient of here is 2. But in case now here it is only 1. So we have not written it raised to 1, because when it is 1 we have to, no, we don't have to mention it. So this is how the solubility product is being given for a sparingly soluble salt. So what is the definition? It is the product of equilibrium concentrations of constituent ion which are raised to the power equal to their respective coefficient in balanced equilibrium expression. Now this expression is balanced. So this is balanced equilibrium expression at a given temperature, because see here if you rise the temperature, with temperature there is increase in solubility. So it is at a given temperature only you have to consider the solubility product. Now next part which we are going to study is the relation between solubility and solubility product. So basically what is solubility, that we will study. Simple case, if you see, solubility means what? If I add salt to water, it gets dissolved in water. That is solubility in simple language. But according to chemistry, the actual definition of solubility is, it is the amount in grams. So whatever grams of a substance you add or dissolved per unit volume. So unit volume, it might be 100 ml, 1000 ml or 1000 liter. That accordingly, whatever the amount of substance you dissolved in water per unit volume, that is known as solubility. When it is molar solubility, molar means what? When you dissolve the substance, express the solubility in terms of moles per liter. So solubility in gram per liter divided by molar mass of that particular compound which is dissolved in grams per mole. That gives you molar solubility. Now we are going to study relation between solubility and solubility product. So here we start. For example, you consider the solubility equilibrium for a salt BXAY. This is a salt. Okay, this is a compound. So this BXAY, when you put in water, it dissociates into its ion, that is B raised to Y plus Y. Y is the exponent, okay, the exponent or coefficient you can say, by A raised to X minus. So solubility product of this is given by concentration of B raised to Y plus raised to X. X is the number of atoms of this or number of ions of this coefficient, and A raised to X minus raised to Y. For example, if you consider S as the molar solubility. So if you consider S as molar solubility, so for B raised to Y plus, the molar solubility is given by X into S. X into S is molar solubility. And for A raised to X minus is equal to Y into S. Why Y? Because Y is the coefficient. X is the coefficient for B raised to Y plus and Y is the coefficient for A raised to X minus. So B raised to Y, the coefficient is X raised to X into S, and for A raised to X minus it is Y into S. So when you substitute these two values in the above equation, instead of B raised to Y plus, it becomes S X into S, concentration of X into S raised to X. X raised to X remains as it is because this is coefficient, into concentration of Y raised into S raised to Y. This, if you separate these terms, this becomes X raised to S. So X raised to S, Y raised to Y, Y raised to Y, and here S raised to X and Y, X raised to Y. When it is S raised to X into S raised to Y, it comes out to be S raised to X plus Y. This is mathematical formula, or you can see the notation which you must be studying in mathematics also. So for example, if we have a salt AgBr, the solubility product of this is given by, so this is the relation between KSP, that is solubility product, and the solubility. Okay, solubility product and the solubility. This is the relationship between which we have studied now. So for example, if you have a salt, a silver bromide AgBr, it is sparingly soluble salt. It gives ions Ag plus and Br minus, and some part remains as it is. Now here it is Ag plus, so plus 1. So X is equal to 1, coefficient here is 1, and even Y is equal to 1. So KSP is given as what? X is 1, so X raised to 1 raised to 1 is 1, Y raised 1 raised to 1. Instead of Y, if it is substitute 1 raised to 1 is 1, so here it becomes 1, and S raised to X plus Y. So X plus Y is how much? 1 plus 1 is 2. So X into X, it becomes X square. So this is the solubility product of AgBr. If you take another salt like lead iodide, PbI2, it gives Pb2 plus. See, now here the valency exponent is 2 plus, and here it is coefficient is 2, I minus. So solubility product comes out to be, what is X here? X की जगह यहाँ पे क्या है? 1. So 1 raised to 1 into S raised to 1. 2. Why 2? Because coefficient here is 2. 2 raised to 2. 2 क्यों आए यहाँ पे? Because of X is equal to 1 and Y is equal to 2. So 2 raised to 2 into X raised to 2. So when you calculate this, it comes out to be 4S cube. So this is how we calculate the solubility product of different sparingly soluble salt. Please understand this concept and understand the mathematical expressions, because numericals are asked based on this. Like find the solubility product of AgBr, or what is the relationship between solubility product of AgBr and its solubility. So KSP, that is solubility product of AgBr, is equal to square of its solubility. For PbI2, that is lead iodide, it is equal to 4S cube. So you have to practice some examples based on this solubility product and solubility. Now, the next part which we are going to study is, depending upon this solubility product and solubility, how we can identify whether the solution is saturated or unsaturated. Saturated or unsaturated means what? For example, if I take water and if I add NaCl into it or sugar into it, at a particular temperature, in given amount of water, the NaCl will dissolve when you stir it. But if I go on adding NaCl at a particular moment, a time comes when this no more NaCl dissolves in water. So this solution where no more NaCl dissolves in water is known as saturated solution. When we go on adding and adding, the no more means not at all NaCl dissolves, then it is supersaturated. and when you dissolve small amount of NaCl in water, it got the complete NaCl was dissolved, that is known as unsaturated. Like no more solute remains undissolved, that is unsaturated solution. So how do we identify based on the solubility product thing that whether the solution is saturated, supersaturated or unsaturated, that we are going to study now. You all must have seen that when you put AgCl or any silver salt, when you add into water, it gives PPT, that is precipitate. Why only silver chloride forms precipitate and why sodium chloride does not form precipitate? It gives a clear solution. It does not form any precipitate. You all must be knowing what is a precipitate. During practical, we have studied this. Like when a substance does not dissolve completely, it settles down in the form of precipitate. That is known as precipitate. So why AgCl forms a precipitate and why NaCl does not form a precipitate and it completely dissolves and form a clear solution? So this can be understood by knowing the relationship between ionic product and solubility product. So what is solubility product? Solubility product, we have already seen it that when it is the product between the ions, but when only at the equilibrium concentration. But what is ionic product? They both are almost same, but this solubility product is considered only at equilibrium concentration. Ionic product is the expression which contains concentration of ions under any condition. Though there is no equilibrium, then also the product between the ions, like if it is ion A and B, at any point, at any condition, this product between the ions for particular compound is known as ionic product. So there are some conditions of this precipitation which are related or which are based on this ionic product and solubility product. So how they are related, that we are going to see now. So first condition is when this ionic product is equal to, the sign is equal to, when this ionic product is equal to the solubility product. Okay, so product of ions at any condition, when it is equal to the product of ions only at equilibrium condition, when this condition is there, that ionic product is equal to solubility product, that time we see that the solution is saturated solution and there is a solubility equilibrium that exists between the compound and its ion. So when IP is equal to KSP is known as saturated solution. When this ionic product is greater than solubility product, okay, for example, ionic product is 2 and solubility product is 1. So when this ionic product is greater than solubility product, that time we see that the solution is supersaturated. Supersaturated means no more solute dissolves in the solvent. That is known as supersaturated solution. So this is supersaturated solution and there is again a solubility equilibrium exists between the ions and the compound. The third condition for precipitation, now this is very important, when this ionic product is less than solubility product, that time we say that the solution is unsaturated. Unsaturated means if we add AgCl into water, complete AgCl dissolves in it, but some part forms in the remains in the form of precipitate. So when IP is less than KSP, ionic product less than solubility product, that time we say that the solution is unsaturated and the precipitation will occur, that is the salt will remain in the form of precipitate. So these are the conditions based on ionic product and solubility product relationship, that when the solution is saturated, when it is unsaturated and when it will form precipitate. So please remember these conditions because questions are asked based on these conditions. Study solubility equilibrium for a sparingly soluble salt, then how to calculate the solubility product KSP, which is denoted by KSP. It is a product of concentration of ions, okay, at equilibrium condition, that is solubility product. The definitions are very important. Please learn word to word definitions because they are asked as it is in the exam, then only you will get full marks. Even we have studied the relationship between solubility and solubility product, that is KSP, and solubility is denoted by S capital S. And then we have seen the examples. So practice these examples to find the solubility. There are some examples given in the textbook as well. So please try to solve those examples based on this concept. And then the last thing which we have studied was, depending upon the relationship between ionic product and solubility product, how can we identify whether the substance is saturated, supersaturated or unsaturated, or how can we know which substance will form the precipitate when it is dissolved in water. So this is all for today. Kindly solve the assignment which is attached and then go for the Google test.